left of a basra, Kuf Yud Ches. We're starting from Kuf Yud Zayin Amud Beis by the 2 dots. 3 lines from the bottom. Amalei, Papa, really 4 lines from the bottom. Similar Rav, Slavcha v'Yesef v'Ichbel Menashe Yechashem. There's a machlekes how the Eretz Yisrael was divided. Was it according to those that left Mitzrayim? Yeah, of course. But I'm saying, who do we go according to? Those that left Mitzrayim? Or do we go according to those that entered into Eretz Yisrael? Mashal, if you go according to the ones that left Mitzrayim, no, you can have more. So we're going to see a chili.
Unless you have younger.
If you go, so this is what we're going to see. You're going to right now see the difference. What's the difference between if you divide Eretz Yisrael according to those that left Mitzrayim or according to the ones that entered into Eretz Yisrael? Let's see now. Zok the Yimada. Amalei Apapa Abaya. Apapa said to Abaya, Bishloim Lamande Amah. It is understood according to the one who says that we divide Eretz Yisrael according to the ones that left Mitzrayim. What does that mean? Oh, here he gives you an example, I think, over here. He says, according to the one that says, the kavanah is that the mishpacha, there was, let's say there was 20 in the mishpacha that left Mitzrayim. And yeah, they died, of course. So their inheritance, those that went into Eretz Yisrael, 8 o'clock, that went into Eretz Yisrael, let's say they ended up being only 10. It started off with 20, and they entered into Eretz Yisrael 10. So was the nachla bigger? Yeah, because you go according to how much there was divided for 20 people. So they got a bigger nachla. Now when it came, so that's what the nachla is like this. When they came into Eretz Yisrael, there was only 10, half. But they still got, each one got a much bigger tarba nachla. Is there a nachla given grace?
They had the same size.
They had the same size, but it was only 10 people that entered versus a bigger chelik. That's what it means. Let's say there was only 10 people left Mitzrayim, so the chelik was small for 10 people, and now 20 people are entering Eretz Yisrael. So each one kicked the halba chelik from Muslim and Gehat from Priya. Says the Gemara. So this pasuk makes sense if we learn that the division was from those that left Mitzrayim. That the way Eretz Yisrael was divided was each person that came in got his chelik, right? So what's the pshat? L'rav tabanach mai l'rav tabanach losi. What does it mean? L'rav, he's given tabanach losi. Yeah, every person got the same exact chelik. Kum to Rashbam. Rashbam fact hashayla. Maybe it means that a bigger mishpacha that came with a big mishpacha is given a grasa chelik. If a family of 20 came in, they got a bigger chelik. Each one got a portion, and the smaller family got a less. Says the pasuk is saying Yizok la'ela techolek haaretz to divas kubenarayin zomen get my chelik. So what does it mean? What are you telling me? Of course, according to how many kids each guy got a chelik, what's ta'aba nachlas? What's the chiddush in that? And then he says even more. You're saying tarba sounds like that he got extra, bigger chelik. Here they didn't get extra. There was more people. Each one got the same chelik. It should have said chelik. Or it should have said chelik in cholu. But that's all they got. Then the Rashbam asked another question in Lecheda that there was a shita that said it's connected both. That those that entered Eretz Yisrael. L'mashal, the Gemara gave before a mashal that there were 2 koyanim. Well, I can give you a mashal mamish in the Yerusha. Reuben and Shimon. Reuben had 1 son. Shimon had 10 sons. So how many people came into Eretz Yisrael altogether between Reuben and Shimon? 11. So these 11 chalakim went back to Reuben and Shimon, and then they divided it 5.5, 5.5. That's how. That's one shita. Yeah, that could be. That's one shita. So he says, according to that, so what's the shaykh tabe v'tamit? They got mamish the same chalakim. Okay.
Well, this one had 10 kids, and this one only had five
Yeah,
kids.
but when they came back to the fathers,
You looked at the fathers.
well, at the
always
full,
fathers.
the fathers, then we give it
Took five, each was five.
five and a half, and they gave it back. It was 11 kids.
But
One,
you
10,
only
11.
look at the ones that came in as his
Oh,
fathers,
so
and
then the
got
one,
more,
right.
and he got less.
Okay, so Zakti Kasha, this pasuk doesn't make sense according to the one that says that we divided Eretz Yisrael according to those that entered into Eretz Yisrael, because we can't make sense out of the words Lodav Tabanach Lasev Lamaav Tamid Nachlasev. Zakti Gabel Leah Papa is the second Kasha. La'abaye Fabaye Bishlim Lamandam. It's understood according to Mandam Yetz Mitzrayim that the that Eretz Yisrael was divided according to those that left Mitzrayim. Hainu the Tzavcham b'nei Slavchad. This is why the b'nei Slavchad was screaming. Our father is one of the inheritors of Eretz Yisrael. It's Slavchad and Shekuktem. We could not, even though he died in the midbar, but he still got as a chelik. He's supposed to hot karkas, so we should get. Why should we lose the name? If he would have had a son, the son would have had the chelik. So let us have the chelik. But according to the Mandiyab that says that Eretz Yisrael was divided according to those that entered Eretz Yisrael, Slavcha didn't enter Eretz Yisrael. So I might Slavcha, what shines they? What shines that? There's nothing for you to take. He didn't enter Eretz Yisrael, Slavcha. There's nothing for you to be teveya. So Ella Zakti Mara lechazar. Rather, you're going to say, like we said before, that it goes like this: that the those that entered Eretz Yisrael would get a chelik, then it would go back to the father. Lamashal, Slavchad had 4 brothers. Chayfa, let's say Chayfa was the father, and Chayfa had 6 sons. Slavchad was one of the sons. So the 5 sons went in, the chelik went back to Chayfa. And then Chayfa, so it was like a new division divided equally. Says the Gemara, Lachazara. So you're saying because it's Chayza to those that are Yetz Mitzrayim, and then they divided from new. Velitel, the Nichsei Chayfa, and they divide in the Nechasim of Chayfa. That's what, because he got back all the Nechasim, and then it gets divided by the children. So that's why the B'nai Slavchad had a taina. Hey, it went back to Chayfa. Let's go. B'nai Slavchad, we want our chalakim.
Well, this is sort of a third shot.
This is a third shot. Yeah. So he says, so here comes a third kasha. So this is how the Gemara answered why the B'nai Slavchad were able to scream, because the pshat is, Slavchad didn't enter, but the other brothers entered. And the chalakim went back to Chayfa, and we have a chelik. Our father was the mechair, so he's supposed to get 2 chalakim, and we're supposed to get based on that. And Slavchad also was from the Yetz Mitzrayim.
They got 2 halakim?
They got 3 chalakim. Slavchad's chelik, and then they got Slavchad 2 chalakim from their father because Slavchad was the mechair. So they got 3 chalakim.
Only a prayer only gets in Haroi. In other words, it wasn't theirs.
That's what the Rashbam asked yesterday, and the Rashbam said it wasn't considered Roig. They were Muchzakim already from then. Right away. It's understood according to the one who says Liyetz Mitzrayim that the Eretz Yisrael was divided according to those that left Mitzrayim. Hainu the Katzavcham b'nei Yosef. The b'nei Yosef was screaming that we became a big shevet. We multiplied. We have so many people. The chsiv, we don't have enough karka. Sheisrabu, between going out of Mitzrayim and coming into Eretz Yisrael. So it says when they came out of Mitzrayim, there were only 32,200. When they entered Eretz Yisrael, they were 52,700. And he brings they grew over 63%. Huh? It's almost like that. So you come in, there's nothing. They were screaming, we need room. We need more room. Yeah. The Bnei Yosef spoke to Yeshua. As Yeshua led, Madua nasatali nachla g'dol echad v'chevel echad ani yamrav. I'm a big name. I have so many people. How could you give me so little? Why were they screaming? Kulu shakul. If we're going according to who, according to the Baya Aretz, according to those that are entering Eretz Yisrael, everybody got equal chelik. So what's the Gishrei? Even though you have more people, each person got according to his chelik. Everybody got equal. We're not learning that shot right now. Now we're learning so. And for the Gemara, the Bnei Yosef it's tough because Mishum Tfolin the Havna Fishlo, because there were many children who their fathers either died in Mitzrayim, and they were Yisraelim under 20, and the only way you can be roy for a chelik if you were over 20, if you were from Yetz Mitzrayim, or when you entered in Eretz Yisrael, you had to be over 20. Here we're talking about they were under 20. The fathers were under 20, and those that entered Mitzrayim, entered Eretz Yisrael, the children were also under 20, so there was no halakim for them.
But if they were under 20 when they left Mitzrayim, they survived. It was only those that were 20 and over that died.
True, but a lot of them died. Those that were so, but some of them died, right? A lot of them died. Not all of them. A lot of them died. So even those that entered Eretz Yisrael were also under 20. Their descendants. So they had so many Yisraelim. Here it says, Rashbam says, "Shalashifte b'nei Yisrael yaharbe Yisraelim." Yen hasach Yisraelim shelo yoyu b'nei Esrim b'knisas l'Aretz. They should Yashim, but the parents were under 20 when they left Mitzrayim. וגם אביסינו לא נכנסו לארץ ולא יכלו להנחיל להשכיל כשהם עשו.
They had the kids before, they were so young?
They were, no, they had the kids later, but when they left Mitzrayim, they were under 20, they couldn't get a chelik. Then they had children, and then the children, when they entered Eretz Yisrael, they were under 20. So now you have, there's no way, there's a problem, there's no way for them to get a chelik. So 1 minute, Abaya. Yeah, Biden will let him more immigrants. Abaya. Abaya answered, Shmami no, so we can learn from these psukim, lo yihavas, that the B'nai Slavcha, the three of B'nai Slavcha, B'nai Yosef, lo yihava chad, lo yishakol. We have to say there wasn't one mitzias that a child should not inherit. Everybody inherited. It was impossible. So he says, because if, let's say, Shaliyotzim Mitzrayim Nischal Kaaretz, Yotzim Shayotzim Mitzrayim Kushul Mata Megil Esem Shana, if he was under 20 years, this is the Rashba. Im Hayim Baya Haaretz Lehu Lo Nato Klum. If he was from the Baya Haaretz, he wouldn't take anything. Leibis Chusatzma. Mikivan Shahayaz Lamata Megil Esem Shana. When he entered Eretz Yisrael, if he was under 20, he couldn't get a chelik. Because his father didn't leave Mitzrayim. It could be his father died in Mitzrayim. That's another case. It never happened that the father died in Mitzrayim and they were underage when they entered Eretz Yisrael. He says that didn't happen.
Because it's 40 years in the minute.
He says he doesn't go through why. Either they weren't 20, they were under 20 if they were from the Yetz Mitzrayim, or im Yetz Mitzrayim acha echad kazeh echad mekreiv shehayim Yetz Mitzrayim meis b'midbar. Nevertheless, he would have had a different karev that he would have inherited. A grandfather, a great-grandfather. He would have had somebody. Let's say his father was too young, but his grandfather was old enough when he was from the Yetz Mitzrayim. When he asked him for the father, so he says
The Yetz Mitzrayim so different. He had a chelik even though
he had a chelik.
even though he was under 20.
When he would become 20, he would get the chelik because the father. We go back to the chelik to the father. Yeah, we're talking about now if he was from the Yetz Mitzrayim. If you divide it according to the day that you go according to the Yetz Mitzrayim. Gam lefi hadei shel lebole. The Rashbam says, and according to the day that says lebole haaretz net nischal kaaretz, haya yachol immatzei ish loy nato shum chelek kigan shaya pas miben esem b'knisas laaretz v'gam loy haya loy avis ibn Yetz Mitzrayim sheirish loy sachalak m'shaboneim baya har shechazer aleim ulam b'payal loy haya mik kazeh. There was no such a thing that He was under 20 when he entered Yisrael, and under 20.
Oh,
one second. Elakomi shaya lamat megilas biknisas laaretz haya loy marisha miyotzim mitzrayim. He would be made when the people from Yotzim Mitzrayim would bequeath it to him. Either, like we said, his grandfather. Kash afa pisha mekay chatzman loy natal mikomaken ayidei chazora natal kifi shebenei slavchad natlu. The benei slavchad, they were considered like underage people, but they got in the schus of their father, in the schus of their grandfather Chayfer. So too, here it's shaykh that they got in the schus of the father and the if not the father, the grandfather of the mother's side, the grandfather of the father's side. You couldn't. Whatever, they'll find some executive. So he says the Ishak that so it says Gemara now, if it's going to enter your mind that there was even one person that didn't get a chelik, he should have yelled and screamed just like the Bnei Slavchad and just like the Bnei Yosef. And we only know of these two tviyas. Otherwise, there was nobody that came with a tviya. I didn't get a chelik. Nobody's tying at that. If you're going to want to say, oh, you know what? The tzavach v'hani kasvikra. Only those that scream and got his chelik. That's what the pasuk writes about. But the tzavach lo yahani like kasvikra. But somebody who made an issue that he didn't get a chelik and he still didn't get a chelik, the Torah didn't even bother writing. Maybe that's the story. Says the Gemara, it's not true. Habnei Yosef the tzavchi v'lo yahani. The Bnei Yosef, they were screaming, listen, with so many people, and they told him, tough noogies, you're not getting any more. Whatever you got, yeah. Kasvinu kra, and nevertheless, the Torah wrote it. So don't tell me the Torah doesn't write cases where you scream and nothing, and you didn't get anything out of it. So you're going to say the Torah doesn't write it. That's not true. So you must say there was no other case except the Taina of Yosef and the Taina of Bnei Slavchad.
I remember somebody came to Rabbi half years ago and said, if you want to get something, like the Shras, you have to go.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. And he says if there was such another case, we would have heard about it. And don't tell me if you got nothing, the Torah didn't write about it. No, the Torah wrote about it. So the Gemara Hasam, it's not true. Hasam, the Gemara says it's no raya. Hasam eitza teva kamashmalan. Over there, he's coming to tell us good advice. The Bailele Inish he's the Huri me'ena bisha, that a person should be that he told the Yesi is so much. Go hide, because Ein Har is only shot. And this is what Yeshua said. Yeshua said to them, Im am rabata alei lecha hayara. If you are taka, so such a big amount of people, go to the Val and hide. Amlahu and in the Val, and because people, the Amlahu Yeshua said to the Bnei Yosef not to add nachla. He couldn't give them more. Because if it belonged to another shevet, well, you have no right to steal from Shvatim. And if it was theirs, it was theirs. So what did he tell them?
Go to a Christmas park.
Yeah, so he was telling them, but it wasn't giving them more. He was giving them advice. Go and hide yourself in the Val. That there shouldn't be Ein Hara on you. Because there were so many people. Yeah, they were screaming with so many people, we need more land. So he says, listen, this about more land you're not getting. But this that you're telling me so many people hide out, it's not good for Ein Har.
That's what big crowds?
Huh? No, okay. So the Bnei Yosef said back to Yeshua that they didn't accept the advice. They said, Anan? Mizar de Yosef. We are from the children of Yosef. The Loi Shalta Be'ena Bisha. That Ein Har is Neshaylet. What are you telling us to go hide? The Chsiv, like it says, Ben Peres Yosef. Yosef is beautiful. Ben Peres Ale Oyin. On this pasuk Ale Oyin. I'll take it Ale Oyin. Ella Oila Oyin. That means they go above. Because the bracha was V'yidgu L'Reiv B'Kerem Haaretz. He's going to say it. But here, or Ale Oyin, we dash, and it means that above the eye, that meaning the eye cannot be shaylik. Yeah, and Rabbi Yosef Rabbi Chanina from here. It said they should multiply like fish within the earth. And ma dogim shabayam mayim mechas malim, just like the fish in the yam, the water covers over them, meaning the ein ha'ayin shaletz bahem, that the ein har cannot be shaylet. Avzar shayes and ein ha'ayin shaletz bahem. They don't have to go to the forest, but the reason why he wrote it, it says because you want to try to slug up. The reason why he wrote it because he gave them advice. But B'Pel Mamish, the advice was not advice for them because they said it. And you see the Torah still writes it. So if there was any other story that they were screaming, even though it wasn't a help for them, if the Torah would have written it. It's like the Meraglim, Yeshua Kolav Not L'Chalkam. It says about the Meraglim, those that spied Eretz Yisrael and spoke bad about Eretz Yisrael, the only two that didn't speak bad was Yeshua and Kolav. So Yeshua and Kolav inherited the Meraglim's land. As I state. Frank, you want to know how do you live from it? Doesn't matter. They didn't get their chaylik from the Meraglim. They got from the grandfather maybe, but not from the Meraglim. From where do we know that? It says in the pasuk, "V'Yeshu ben Nun, v'Kol ben Yefunah, choyu min hanosh mahem." They survived between those other Meraglim who died, those that spied over Eretz Yisrael. My choyu hanosh mahem. What is he coming to tell you? If you're coming to tell us that they survived, there's an earlier passage that says that they survived. Only who was left over. So what are you telling me? What does it mean? They lived and they took over their chalokim, the Menaglim's chalokim, choyu. That's what it means. Misloinene, ba'adas koirach.
Why were they allowed to take it?
Because they gave them, since they didn't follow in the atzas hameraglim, they didn't join, so they gave them a matona that they should get their chalokim. Misloinene, those that were always complaining against Moshe and against the Eibishter, and then Ba'adas Koirach and the story of Koirach, Lo Yahayu Lahem Chelik Ba'aretz. They didn't have a chelik in the land. There's a machlekes here. It means when we learn it, this goes according to Manda Hama, who got it, the rest of Klal Yisrael, and then they divided it. The Mislenim, we took away the Chalakim and the Adas Koirach. We gave it to all Klal Yisrael and then divided it equally. But we learn differently. We learn Mizraglim, Mislenim, Ba'adas Koirach, Yeshuva Kalev Natul Chelkam. It says Yeshuva Kalev took the Chelik. So it doesn't mean that it was given to all of Klal Yisrael and then they divided. So Sai from the Meraglim and Sai Adas Koirach and the Mislenim. Not Koirach. Oh, that's true, but I'm saying the Meraglim, that the Kalev and Yeshua got so much. So Gemara like kasha, that's not a kasha. You have a brayso that says that the Mislenim and the Adas Koirach went to Klal Yisrael and then they divided it equally. It did not go to Kalev ben Yefunah and Yeshua. So he says it's not a kasha. The brayso of this second brayso that says it went to Kalev Makish Mislenim Limeraglim. They are Makish. It's in the same pasuk. So they compared the Mislenim to the Meraglim. That just like the Meraglim who Kalev Yefunah and Yeshua did inherit it, so too they inherited the Mislenim. And there's the first brayso that says that the Mislenim and Adas Koirach went to Klal Yisrael, loy makish Mislenim lemeraglim. They don't compare the Mislenim to the Meraglim. Just by the Meraglim, Kalev ben Yefunah and Yeshua got it. But by the Mislenim it went to Klal Yisrael and then it was divided equally. The Tanya that we learned in the brayso. What does it say? It says by the Tefillah of Bnei Slavchad, it says, Avinu meis b'midbar. Our father died in the midbar. Zed Slavchad. And even though the Rashbam says it's self-understood, Rashbam says no, it's not so simple. Because this word that it says midbar, we learn out that Slavchad was from the Mekoshesh Eitzim. he chopped wood on Shabbos. He was Mechal Shabbos. That's why he got killed. To show the Yidden, you can do a malach on Shabbos. He did a Shem Shemayim. So he says, where do we know it was Slavchad who was the one that cut the Eitzim? Because Avinu Meis Bamidbar, which we know for sure it's Slavchad, it says the word Bamidbar. And by the Bekeshish Eitzim, it says also Bamidbar. So that's how we know Slavchad was the Bekeshish Eitzim. And he was not between the Eidah. Zeh Adas Meraglim. That's referring to the Adas Meraglim. And then Moshe said, Ad Masil Eidah Hara Azeis Asher Higma Alin Laloi. That's the Adas Meraglim. They were the ones that spoke against Moshe and against the Eibishter. And Odim al Hashem, those that went fighting against Hashem, Elu Misleinanim. These are the ones that were constantly fighting, complaining. And then you had Ba'adas Kairach Kemashmai, Adas Kairach Kemashmai, the Yemain of Kairach. Ma Makish Misleinanim Meraglim. One Tana compares Misleinanim to the Meraglim because they're mentioned in the same pasuk. And so you compare just like the Meraglim. The Chalakim went to Kalev and Yeshua. So too, the Misleinanim went to Kalev and Yeshua. Ma loy makish Misleinanim Meraglim. A lot of from every shevet you had stam complainers, not a daskaya. Like when it came to the drinking of the water, what are we going to drink? It's going to sachidin for now shmatin. According to the one that compares Misleinanim to Meraglim, that the Kalev ben Yefuneh and Yeshua inherited also the Misleinanim. Ikapel Yeshua ben Kalev Yarsel Kula Eretz Yisrael. Then Yeshua and Kalev inherited such a big property, so much. We know the Rashbam brings down that it says V'arei Yadua U'Maha Mikrois Muchach. Even 1,000th Kalev ben Yefuneh and Yeshua didn't get. So how can you say they got they got from every shevet Chalakim? It's crazy. It's not shaykh, yeah. Amalei says Abaya back. Misleinanim doesn't mean the Misleinanim throughout all the time in the midbar for every time there was an argument against the Moshe, against Hashem. Only it means but Shabbadas Kairach coming in. Only when they get to the story of Kairach. And there was 250. That's all. Not Stama. That's what Misleinanim Shabbadas Kairach.
What does it say? Everything sunk into the earth.
Only the karka of Eretz Yisrael that went back to them. That went to Kalev ben Yefuneh and Yeshua.
The other wealth the Kairach had was all lost.
Yes.
What happened with his money?
I don't know. If it's in the ground, you don't. In karka, money. Yeah. Vamalei. Papa said to Abaya, it's understood that Shali Yates Mitzrayim, the land was divided. That's what it says. It says that that the Chalakim of Menashe was divided into 10 Chalakim. Okay? Shisa the Shisa Batei Avis. There was 6 Chalakim for the 6 that were in the Shevet Menashe. And the 4 Chalakim that went to Bnei Slavchad. She had 6 brothers, and 4. So they got 6 Chalakim, but Bnei Slavchad got 2 Chalakim because he was a Bechair, and then they got the Slavchad's Chelek. Because Slavchad got Chayf's Chelek. The father's Chelek, he was a Bechair. 2 Chalakim, Slavchad's Chelek, and then they divided the brother's Chelek. We're going to learn soon. So, 10
portions?
Together was 10 portions, 6 the brothers, and then the Bnei Slavchad got 4 Chalakim. So, according to the one that says that Eretz Yisrael was divided according to those that enter Eretz Yisrael. So they didn't get Slavchad's Chelek, because Slavcha didn't enter Eretz Yisrael. So if he didn't enter Eretz Yisrael, there was no chelik, and he didn't have any sons either to go back and say he was from the Yotz Mitzrayim. So Tamanya Hudava, there's only 8. Shita, the Shita Bati Avos, Shita, the 6 Chalakim for the 6 Bati Avos, the 6 brothers, and Utreidit Hu, and the 2 Chalakim that the Bnei Slavchat got from the father Chefer because it was Mechayer. Tamanya, not from Slavchat. So there's only 8, not 10. In fact, according to you, that you say that you go according to the Yotz Mitzrayim, it's only 9 because they got Slavcha. B'nai Slavcha got Slavchat's chelik because he was from the Yotz Mitzrayim. Plus they got Slavcha got his father's chelik, a double portion because it was a mechayer. It was only 3. He's only shleisha. And the mayis lechameima plus the brothers 9. Only anybody has a vehicle outside is about to be told. Yeah. Only what could you say? Says the Gemara, Chad Acha the Abba Havalahu. There was one brother that passed away, and he also had a chelik from Chefa, from his grandfather. So they divide, all the brothers divided, and Bnei Slavchat got that chelik, so that's how it ended up to 4 chalakim. Says Gemara Hachanami, we could say, even he was Slavchat was from the Baye Eretz Yisrael. It was not from the Baye Eretz Yisrael, but still they got 4 halakim because we'll say Trei Achadaba Havlahu. Maybe there were 2 more brothers. We don't know about it, and instead of 6, Slavchat together with him was 8 brothers. So they divided 2 more halakim from those 2 brothers in the Chefa's, in the grandfather's chelik.
How do you know they had 6, only 6?
No, we don't know. We know for sure there was 1 more that died. We said, according to the first shot, for sure 1 more. We're going to bring psukim that either there was 1 brother or 2 more brothers. And now we're going to learn about it. The Tanya that we learned from the Braisa, it says, Nasin titin lahem zu nachla saviyam. It says, Nasin titin lahem, that's the nachla of their father. Okay? That now we're talking about that the Eretz Yisrael was divided according to the Bande Amma, like the Yotz Mitzrayim. It was divided according to the Yotz Mitzrayim. V'soich achei avihem zu nachlas avi avihem. So first of all, they got the nachla of the father at Slavcha. Then they got a double chelik from the nachla avi avihem. They got 1 chelik from the nachla of the grandfather. V'havarta es nachlas aviyim lahem zu chelik b'chayra. That was the second chelik because Slavcha was a b'chayr. And Rabbi Eliezer ben Yaakov av chelik achi avihem. There was a brother that died, that who was supposed to get a chelik of the father.
A brother from the
Slavchat, and they all divided it, Notlu, so Bnei Slavchat got a chelik from that chelik. Shenema Nosin Titin, it says a double lashon of Nosin. According to Man Amma that say there were 2 brothers, where do we learn out that there was a second brother? To those that say that Eretz Yisrael was divided according to those that entered Eretz Yisrael. So how did it add up to 10 chalakim? So we said 2 was because of the Bechayra of Slavchat. So the Bnei Slavchat got 2 chalakim, and 2 brothers died. So and from their chelik of their grandfather, they divided equally with the brothers, the Bnei Slavchat. So that's how you had 10. So where do we see there was a second? 6, and the Slavchat got 2 chalakim in Chefer. He was a b'cheir, and the 2 other 2 we're talking about. We're going according to Baye Eretz Yisrael. The other 2 chalakim in Chefer were the 2 brothers that died early. So they got the Bnei Slavchat divided that equally. Where do we learn that out from? From the extra word achuzas nachalo. It says from achuzas that it says in the pasuk achuzas nachalo is extra. Should have said just nachla. Achuzas means the same thing. It means inheritance. To tell us that there was another brother, there was 2 brothers that passed away, and the Bnei Slavchat got a chelik in that as well. Stop.